news and basketball analysis with over 70 years combined experience. This is the Bob Ryan and Jeff Goodman podcast.
NBA, some college, a little bit of everything.
You know, what can I say? But it wasn't going to happen here with him.
Hey, this episode of Bob Ryan, Jeff Goodman, Tanguay along for the ride. Pod is brought to you by PrizePicks on the CLNS Media Network. Best time of the year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once during the holiday season. And while you and I are out there making decisions every day, like what gifts do I get Bob Ryan? What type of present do I get Jeff Goodman? What do I get the men that have everything? What do I want to eat? What game do I want to watch? There's one place where it feels good to be right, PrizePicks. Okay, Bob, we got some work to do here before we head off for the Thanksgiving Day long weekend. Let's get your thoughts, an update on our Boston Celtics, which to me have been very frustrating as of late.
Well, I promised myself I wouldn't overreact one way or the other. So when they run up a 80-point half, isn't that nice? You know, historic almost. And I guess it was. And then hang on to win the game, in a sense. Or when they blow a game to a team they should beat. This is who it's going to be. You have all these, you got these young players that are inconsistent. They have some ability. I thought it was very interesting that Jaylen Brown basically called out the youngsters the other day and said, they think a 20-point lead means something in this league. It doesn't mean anything. It just means just time left on the clock. They have to learn that. And that was interesting. He came out and said it. And of course, we can repeat, as we say every time we meet now, he's doing his job. He is living up to everything that you hoped he would in the absence of Tatum, I think.
Yes, he has.
He's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And he does have, once in a while, dribble into traffic the way he used to. But basically, he's been terrific and everything you'd want. And he's been a leader in every way. But he called them out. We'll see. They're inconsistent and unreliable, but not without skill. Some nights, they're going to be good. Some nights they're not. People just have to resign. That's who they are. And in the end, they're 500-ish. I said that the span was, for me, before the year, was 37 to 45 wins, and basically means they're a 500-ish team. And I don't see any difference in that. Okay. So now the one immediate concern and thing that we're learning, and I needed to get kind of sobered up myself about this, is the very big importance of Kata to this team's defense. Now, Kata's not playing as we speak in a game against the Pistons on Wednesday night. And there's a significant difference when he's on the floor and when he's not on the floor in their defensive capability. And none of the other big men come close to matching him in that regard. So you could argue he's the second most valuable player on the team at the moment. And in terms of, they don't have a replacement for him. So we don't want him out too long. That's for sure. Now, before the season, I know Brad talked them up a little bit, and that was good. They like what they saw. His play for Portugal in the tournament was very impressive, and they felt really good about him. So anyway, that's who they are, and they're going to knock off a good team some night, and they're going to blow a game to a team that shouldn't win another night, and that's the way that the whole season's going to be, I think.
Yeah. Right now they're ranked, I always bring this up, they're ranked 21st in three-point shooting.
Uh-huh.
Do you even bother looking at that anymore?
I try it once again. You have to pay attention sometimes, sure. But one part of that, is that Pritchard and White got off to bad starts. Pritchard got off to a horrendous start in terms of three-point shooting.
Right.
We've discussed at length his
sure
in adjusting to his new, vastly upgraded role in this team as a playmaker, as the point guard as well as the shooting guard. He's been better lately, but we bring back the eternal question: is Joe too dependent on the three? It's not as horrible, as it once was, but that's still an unanswered question if they have a plan B.
Okay, now we've talked about the roster and how it changed during the offseason. We know that. If Tatum's back on this team now,
Mm.
can you come up with a win differential? Do you think they have 10 more wins? Do they have 8 more wins? I mean, how much better are they? I mean, they're a lot better, obviously.
I
Here's
think,
here's my question. This is what I'm thinking, Bob. I'm trying. Let me try to condense this thing here. With the way the league is now and the way that teams have been playing, Detroit, for example, and some of these other teams that have had very good seasons, that are having very good seasons. When you take that and you couple that with the fact that the Celtics, if they had a Jayson Tatum, but they still don't have Holiday, they still don't have Porzingis, and they still have problems in the middle. Uh, is it as easy a ride as we thought it would have been?
um, I think I'll go back to the way you phrased it at the beginning. I think he could be worth 6 to 8 wins on the surface. Yeah, I do. I think it.
Is it now? This is, and I know that a lot of the times that you don't like to talk about this. This is fan conjecture and talk radio conjecture. So, but is that a lot? Like, is 6 to 8 wins? Like, generally, when you think of a great player, like if you think of Jordan, I'm getting into the abstract here, but like
Yeah,
if you think of Jordan, like how many wins was Jordan responsible for? How many wins was Kobe responsible for? How many wins was Bird responsible for? And then can you put, and then how do you put that with Tatum?
yeah. I think that's a very good way of putting it. It's a good question. I think that he maybe he's an elite player, so I think he could be worth a significant amount of wins. Yeah,
Yeah, like 6 to 8's good. I was thinking like maybe 10 or something like
listen,
that. But
what
I
you say?
think it's a look, Bob, this is beer talk. This is like 12 midnight at the fours. I mean, so I think that people assume that if Tatum was here, they'd automatically be at the top of the heap. And I
Oh
think,
no, 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 not when they
right, that's
lost
the
what
thing. That's the way I should have prefaced it.
not when they lost what they lost. I mean,
Right. So that's the thing. It's like I think that the casual NBA fan says, "Oh, if Tatum's back, like they're the best team in the league." No, they're not.
no, but they're better, and
No question.
I'd say this: they're definitely going to playoffs,
Oh,
and,
there's no doubt.
and that's
But
that's
no.
that's the difference. You're going so, yeah, he's worth that much.
Yeah.
If he came back
But
today,
it's
if it's not happening, I'm just saying, and just in terms of this conversation, if he came back today healthy, like nothing ever happened, and picked them up where they are right now, then I'd put my money down at definitely making the playoffs, and there'll be a tough out. Yeah, he has a residual effect on other people, you too. It's not just what he contributes, but the attention that he commands, and right away Pritchard would be helped. Believe me, and
and even Brown would have an easier
yeah,
go.
so.
And not to mention the other things he does, such as rebound.
Yeah, right. And rebounding is a major factor in this team. Obviously, it's been discussed all year, and rightly so. So,
Well, we're going to get into some of the other teams, but that's my abstract
yeah,
thought of the day. Do you like the league this year? Because there's a lot of surprises. There's a lot of interesting things to follow.
yeah. It. I mean, I'm always going to be interested. I'll be honest that the 3-point mania has changed the concept of how you win and the enjoyment of the game and the absence of a true big man. I want to offense and that kind of thing. But yeah, the I wasn't ready for Detroit to be this good right away.
Right.
Although they improved significantly, they went from 14 to 44. But still, the 15-2 start as we speak. They wasn't ready for that. Their defense has been very good, and Cunningham is become not what a top, worse a top 15, if not a top 12 player. So he's really carrying them very, very, very well. So they're the surprise, that way. Who else? Well, we're not watching. Not, Phoenix is playing better than anyone ever thought.
Yeah,
That's
Philly's better. I mean, Philly's better without their guy.
well, Philly, but right now they're injury whacked. If they had to play a game last night in which they did not have, of course, Embiid, who's missed like 11 games already,
Right.
and they didn't have George, and they didn't have who just came back, and they didn't have Edgecombe, the good rookie, and they got up 144 points to the Magic last
But
night.
it seems to me, oh yeah, no, I say, but it seems to me that Philadelphia, the guys on the team of Philadelphia it seems to me that they're Embiid is like they're not using Embiid as an excuse. They're like, we know he's not going to be here. We got to play better.
Yeah, well, that's true, and they had been, and but
Right.
last year was a setback. A team that I keep my eye on because I'm really curious to see how it's going to work out is the Knicks. Now, the Knicks, the whole issue with them, one of the major issues with them was playing time last year. They were dead by far leaned the most heavily on their starting five in any team in the league. There was a
Right.
big complaint about Thibodeau, and this year they've had broadened out the playing time. Uh, they're on paper they should be a real contender, and they're not quite over there yet. One reason being they have this ongoing issue with Mitchell Robinson. He's never and there's an interesting story in the New York Post on Tuesday that among the people who are factoring into the decision making on how much Robinson's going to play is his agent. How about that? That in addition to the team doctor and the coach and the owner and everybody else, the agent is apparently having a say and about how much playing time Robinson's going to have. You know, if he ever, I'm telling you, last year the difference when you saw him on the floor for them, he may be the best offensive rebounder in the league. He's certainly among them, and you can make a case he's the best. And it was evident in the playoffs. Anyway, the Knicks, Towns went for a big game last night, but Anunoby's been hurt, and he's a very good defensive player and he's a very good player. Period. So they're not what they ought to be. We don't know where they're going to be. They could be a lot better down the road. The team they did it again last night. The Lakers. When LeBron comes back, I think he had a 25-point game last night. We talked about this last time. He's going to fit in. He's going to make it work as much as he can. He is. I think he's completely acknowledged. Doncic's the man. Okay, I'm gonna play to him. I'm gonna play with him. I'm gonna set him up. I'm gonna take advantage of what he can do. And I think that's very good for the team.
Bob, you wanted to, I think it's great for the league. My God. But one of the things you wanted to talk about is the scoring.
Oh,
You love your numbers, so I'll let you
I'm
go.
fascinated. Yeah. I mean, I keep people. If you're young, if you're under, well, certainly if you're under 30, maybe even if you're under 40, you don't remember when this league had an ice age at the end of the century, and scoring 100, averaging 100 was a big deal, and we had we get a finals in which both teams scored under 100 all but one game. I mean, now the scoring, just individual. I don't have the team numbers, but the individual scoring. You ready for this? So we have 6 guys currently averaging over 30. We have 18 people averaging over 25, and we have 36 people averaging over 20 points a game. How about that? And
Well, the 6 for 30, that the number that sticks out to me is the 20-point thing. I mean, 20 points used to be a big deal.
yeah,
Now it's really not.
well, 36 guys averaging 20 points a game.
I know, it used to be a big deal.
And then now the part B is interesting. I love this subplot. 15%, and the field goal percentage individual, 15 guys are averaging, I'm sorry, free throws. That's free throws. 15 guys are averaging over 90 points from the line. And I'm telling you, I don't know if it's an all-time high, but it's interesting. Okay. All right. So anyway, the scoring's up in that regard. And it's just interesting to me. The other thing I find fascinating, take a look at the leaders on the field goal percentage. And in my opinion, they ought to officially separate categories of field goal percentage and somehow in a mid-range and dunks. The leading guys in field goal percentage, you have to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys before you get anybody who makes a shot outside of 3 feet. And that's Antetokounmpo. The leader is Kalkbrenner, it's the rookie from the Hornets, who is shooting 80%, 61 out of 76. I'd like to know the average range of his shots. You know what I'm getting at here. Rudy Gobert is next. DeAndre Ayton, Isaiah Hartenstein, Duran Duran. Diabate is Charlotte. Mark Williams, 7 foot. Then we get the most legit, but I'll tell you who obviously the most legitimate shooter in the league, Jokic. Here comes Jokic up at 63%. Our boy Queta is next. He's also at 63%. And we know what his range is, right?
Well, you would think with all the stats now, and they probably have it on shot chart somewhere, is they could definitely make categories of 10 feet and in, 5 feet and
Oh,
in,
they could do
15
it.
feet in.
They could do it.
Of course they could.
Maybe to something else. Okay. Then we got, it's more big guys. Zubac, Jared Allen, Nick Claxton. Then we get a shooter, Hachimura, LA. He's a shooter. Then we get Holmgren. I mean, on and on it goes. So anyway, SGA is there at 54%. But it's dominated totally by big guys who are shooting, who make alley-oops and dunks, and for the most part.
Okay, time to take a break, Bob. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. Holiday season, best time of the year. Best time of the year for sports, too. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here pulling our hair out, making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which games to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right. PrizePicks. Here's the great thing about PrizePicks. You just pick more or less, right? And you can put multiple sports players in your lineups. For example, you could go with Jaylen Brown from the Celtics, and you could go with Drake May from the Patriots. And there are also different ways and different combinations that you can bet. You have the flex play, which you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you want the biggest payouts, go to the power play. No matter your play, PrizePicks is a great way to put your takes to the test. PrizePicks now offers early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. You're watching the game, you got to go. Maybe you got to go to work. Your team's looking good. Why push it? Cash out, take the money. There you go. Then go buy your favorite person a present for this holiday season. So download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. But during the holidays, you have to keep your money straight, right? Maybe both of you are working, you get different people to buy for, you figure out who to buy for, you get the kids, you make everybody happy, you got to get something for her, you got to get something for him. So it's very easy for your finances to get out of control during this time of year. But what you can do is you can take everything and put it into one easy app, and that's with Monarch. This is what they do. To put it, you take your 401k, your investments, your property value, everything with a dollar sign on it, whether it's coming in or out, you can definitely just put it in to your Monarch app. It's that easy. I mean, I wish this thing had been when I was starting out and getting married and having kids and buying my first house. I wish they had something like this. So keep your finances under control and use Monarch, rated Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface on your laptop or your phone. Like I said, you can just go on and say you're shopping, you're out shopping. What's the money situation? Okay, do I want to spend this much on this person? Go to your app, boom, you can figure it out. And right now, for all our listeners, Monarch is offering 50% off your first year. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code HOOPS at monarch.com in your browser to get half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code HOOPS. All right, let's get back to Bob. Well, the question I want to ask you before about the scoring.
Yes.
Do you think the offensive capabilities, obviously 3-point has everything to do with it. That has a lot to do with it because they're spreading the floor. We know that.
Yeah.
Do you think that the teams are better offensively or weaker defensively? Because I don't know if defense is a lost art. I just think the offense is so damn good.
I think the offenses get better as more and more people come in this league who have been shooting threes their whole life, and also pace. I think more teams want to push it. I think pace is there. I'm going to have to look up shots attempted as opposed to like 5 years ago. We can do that. This can be done. It's easy to do. I want to salute somebody though. Uh, DeMar DeRozan, the king of the mid-range game, who on Monday evening warmed my heart by scoring 33 points without a single three-point attempt. 9 field goals, 18 free throws, 15 free throws.
And Bob went and cracked a 50-year-old bottle of scotch.
Oh man, I love that. Now I did a little research here. DeMar DeRozan's career versus Stephen Curry. One guy's 36, the other's 37. They're very much contemporaries. Okay, DeRozan this year has attempted 238 twos and 36 threes, in which he's shooting 50% on the twos and 36% on the threes. In his career, he's attempted his 2-point percentage is 47% of his shot attempts. I mean, excuse me, he's attempted 19,553 shots and only 2,083 threes. Okay. Curry, so his career percentage is 91% twos and 9% threes attempts. Okay. Stephen Curry, meanwhile, concurrently, has attempted 18,653 shots and 9,772 threes. So it's a 47% of his attempts. I'm surprised it's not 50. Surprisingly, only 47% of his attempts are threes, 53% are twos. As opposed once again to DeMar DeRozan, 91% twos and 9% three attempts. So he's my guy in that regard.
He's your guy. Bob, I want to go back to Jokic because there were some numbers. Like the other night, he had 17 points and 16 rebounds. 17 points and 16 rebounds, right? Or 16. Go to Jokic, I should say, with Denver. 17 points and 16 rebounds.
Assists, not rebounds.
Oh, yes. I can't even read my own writing.
That's
assists.
The key.
Assists. 13-4 as we speak. Tied with the Lakers for second in the West.
He only took 9 shots, and he had 16 assists. So, he can kill you in different ways. I keep saying don't sleep on the Nuggets. Now, Aaron Gordon.
You're right.
Aaron Gordon's hurt, and it's going to be a long time. That's crucial. He's had a 51-point game this year, Aaron Gordon.
Right.
But so that's a big blow. But he is continuing marvel. Honest to God. Yeah, every night he gets out there, you don't know. I saw he made a spectacular behind the back bounce pass the other night that was highlight worthy. You got to go look it up. You'll find it on YouTube, anybody. And he's just, he's relentless and he can kill you in different ways. And meanwhile, Doncic had 41 last night. So those guys keep doing it. But Jokic, what a pleasure, what a treasure to watch.
Agreed, Bob. Bob, you have yourself a good Thanksgiving, my friend.
I shall do that. We are having some people, and same to you.
Absolutely. And coming up later in the week, we will be doing what Bob is thankful for with basketball, which is always a good episode. We have been brought to you by PrizePicks. It's the holiday season, best time of the year in sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening all at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day on what gifts to buy, what to eat, which games to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right, and that is PrizePicks. It feels good to be talking to Bob Bryant. Bob, we'll talk to you next week.